Well, hello and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and IT Wire TV video interview. I'm joined today by Ariel Kadyshevitch. He is the Senior Director of Engineering at Okta, which is the world's identity company that secures AI, machine and human identity so everyone is free to safely use any technology. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. I think there's a great hype here in the summit and also in Australia in general. So super excited to be here.
Yeah, and just to explain, we're at the Sydney Identity, Authentication and Access Management Summit 2026, put on by Clutch, and you gave a keynote along with a friend or a partner from Deloitte titled Managing Non-Human Identities in the Age of AI Agents. Now, I've got a bunch of questions for you, but can you just briefly summarize your presentation in a few seconds?
Yeah, for sure. So in Okta, we have the vision and the ability to be the world's identity company. And it means that we have an identity security fabric. So it means that we want to help organizations do everything and anything in identity security. So it means starting from the human identities, the evolution to non-human identities, and today AI agents, which is basically virtual workers in the company. They're using different identities in the company. So very excited, yeah.
Well, look, thank you for taking the time to be here. And I was at the Okta event in Las Vegas in October, where you actually announced that you were managing non-human AI agents and giving them a life cycle and all the rest. But look, before we go any further, can you please just briefly recap Okta's mission and the value it brings to customers in 2026?
Yeah, so Okta's mission is to help having every digital interaction in the company enabled and secured. And I think what it means is that we enable our customers to create any type of access through customers, employees, partners, to any resource needed in the company. Also enable, through the AI agent era, the ability to still have those amazing innovation, but still having guardrails and security. So we're basically starting with like few layers of AI agent security. We're starting with visibility, so helping you detect and understand what are the agents in the company, the one that you know about, the ones you don't know about, the one that your engineers are studying. It depends, a lot of different use cases. But then also taking them the ability to manage them. So bringing those agents to a directory, to a centralized place, and then helping you putting guardrails on those. So govern them, vault those credentials, and having the ability to have like a complete life cycle of this use case.
Yeah, well, not a moment too soon in our modern AI era. Now, you just gave the keynote, and your own research says that 88% of organizations report suspected or confirmed AI agent security incidents, but only 22% treat agents as independent identity-bearing entities. That's clearly a wild gap. So what's stopping security teams from closing it? Besides not being customers of Okta.
For sure. I think the main thing I see here is so I'll start with like something empathetic of like, it's really quick. The technology changes every month, and there's different methods and abilities to deploy AI for the business. Every month it's changed. Every month you have a new protocol, new technology. So I think one big hurdle is how quick it's evolving, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think the second big thing is about just like understanding the AI agent usage and AI usage in general in the company is already happening. Like, I think, as you mentioned, like more than for the question is one of my colleagues leveraging AI already in the company? The answer is more than 90%. So the basic answer is that yes, it's not just engineers, it's marketing team, sales team, everyone, just doesn't really even matter. It's every team in the organization is using it. And I think after accepting it, the main challenge is to say, okay, I understand it's happening, and now I need to understand who can help me and how I can start understanding the issue and understanding how do I prioritize and what guardrails I want to put so my company can innovate, but in the same time being secured. And I think it's like a battle that is always hard, and now it's even harder. So prioritizing what can bring you to this, to making this friction the best way.
Yeah. And with all this usage of AI, we also have the issue of shadow AI. I mean, everyone serious about identity and security is talking about it. And that is, for those who are wondering, but you should know if you're watching this, that's the unsanctioned agents and automation tools that employees spin up without IT knowing, and which Okta just presented a session about at RSAC 2026, which is on as we speak in San Francisco. Now, shadow AI sounds a lot like the shadow IT problem from 10 years ago, just faster and harder to spot. So is it fundamentally the same challenge, or is it something structurally different this time?
So I think from a technical perspective, it's structurally different. It's not the same. From a perspective of visibility, of like not knowing what you don't know, it's maybe the same problem statement, but I think the scale, the amount of the risk in this is way, way, way bigger than shadow IT. Because in the era of shadow IT, you thought that, okay, maybe I have my crown jewels, but then I have something that are not crown jewels where I have risk. The shadow AI is already happening on your crown jewels, right? Because, for example, you have some Salesforce account, right? And you used to have a lot of guardrails on it, but now in the AI era, there's new risks. There's a new risk of like, how is data moved from the Salesforce to another place, and having the ability to understand that now those agents are using your crown jewel systems, but not in the way you maybe thought about it, and not in the way that you wanted to make it.
So non-human identities, which is things like service accounts, API tokens, automation scripts, they already outnumber human users in most enterprise environments. We're being taken over by the robots, you know. So when you bolt AI agents on top of that, how do you even start building an accurate inventory? What does the discovery process actually look like?
Yeah, it's a great question. It touches exactly what you mentioned, and what we're building now in Okta is starting very strong on visibility, but not visibility, by the way, as I mentioned, to crown jewels, which is very important on its own.
Absolutely.
But understanding that also every department in the company is going to start using it. So you need to have the ability to basically scan for the company in different technological manners on what is the usage currently in the company. So it can be through integrating to those systems, it can be through browser plugin, it can be through device network. So it has a lot of different methods and ways. And what we see is that in Okta, because we are the identity company, and we think the AI agent era is identity is the only security perimeter that is always going to be there. Sometimes it's the device, but not always. Sometimes it's the network, but it's not always. Identity is always the perimeter in this issue. And this is why we aim to be the one that helping companies understand that from an identity landscape, because identity can discover all of those in the future, all of those interactions, all of those digital interactions, which I think is super exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Okta recently announced a kill switch capability, universal logout for AI agents, that can revoke all access tokens instantly. That implies you're planning for the moment an agent goes rogue. So how do you balance giving agents enough autonomy to be useful while keeping a hand on the emergency brake?
Great question. I think it's having the ability to set policies that decide what the policy that you want to put in the company. For example, you're okay with spawning as much agents as you want, but you don't have them to have a scope to a PII of a customer, or I don't know, it depends. Every customer has its own, of course.
Everyone's different, yes.
But the key part is having now a tool that can help you implement the policies that you want and you ask from the company to actually happen in real life. And I think this is the big thing where Okta comes in as helping you being this intermediator between those different accesses to have, if that's your rule, we can help you have visibility if this rule is being actually governed in a company. And also in the future, also you block, revoke, just as you mentioned.
Yeah. Now, your recent Showcase 2026 announcements, including partnership with Boomi, DataRobot, and Google Vertex AI. For Australian organisations running hybrid and multi-cloud setups, which is most of them, how do these integrations change the way they can govern agents that move across different platforms and tools?
Great question. I think in Okta, one of the things that we believe the most is that identity is everywhere. And technology can't be only in one company. It's going to be spread out between a lot of different amazing vendors out there, right? So the thing that we see is a very important take here is to take the industry with us to create these kind of abilities of protocols of how do we think the future of AI can be secured and help push it with the entire industry with us. So for example, cross-app authentication, which is a new thing that Okta and the industry together are pushing through different industries right now, having the ability to say, we need to do it secure by design, not running after, like we had with the SSO phase where a lot of application didn't support some security features for a long time. Now everyone supports it. So this time we wanted to do it in AI agents to build it from secure bottoms up. And I think it's only can be done when all the industry together are going to say, we need to do this together, right? So we are very glad to be part of this big journey and to push the industry with us. And I think it's amazing.
Now, a lot of security guidance boils down to write better policies, but you've specifically called out lifestyle management and ownership as the places where non-human identity programs fall apart. For a CISO who's watched your keynote or is watching this video interview and reading the article this video is embedded in, what's the first concrete thing they should do tomorrow morning to start getting their non-human identities under control?
Yeah, I think the key word is visibility. Because visibility gives you the ability to understand where I'm at this project, right? Because when you ask yourself, what is the thing that I want to invest in the next quarter, right? I have to understand what are my choices. And to understand what the choices I have, I need to understand that I need to have understanding of where I'm in the journey of securing non-human identities and AI agents in general. And I think it starts with visibility. You have to understand what is the crown jewels usage, where are the different usage in the company, how is the current guardrails working, not working, and only then you can say, okay, I want to prioritize this kind of project in my next quarter in the company. And also just understanding that this world is evolving so quickly, every month a new technology, and this is why visibility is key, because you need to be understanding of what's happening, and maybe something you decided 3 months ago is not already the right project. So visibility is the one that helps you being on top of things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, before I ask you a couple of personal closing questions about tech and life advice, was there anything else you wanted to highlight from your keynote, as well as Okta's new blueprint for the secure agent enterprise, which your customers can fully leverage when Okta for AI agents becomes generally available at the end of April this year?
Yeah, I think my last thing is that we see AI transforming the world. Every department is being asked to do more with less. And I think also us in the security and the IT and identity field, we have to do also more with less. And I think in Okta, we really thrive to being the one that can enable this and run with you, with the different departments, and enable the company. So I think I would say, like, embrace it. Understand that that's a big thing right now, and also partner with the right partners to make this journey and push the entire organization to be in a better position. Yeah.
So I always like to ask if you could please share a memory of your first personal computer.
Wow, I think it was a Pentium 2 desktop computer, and I think we had this. I don't know if I still remember until today the time where you would pick up the phone next to the computer and then you can hear the modem still, and then you cut off the internet because you didn't have, like, it's only one line, right?
That's right.
So I think it was like this kind of moment where I was so mad. I think I answered myself, but didn't understand I'm cutting the line here.
Yes.
And I just remember it's like, this frustrating moment. I can't believe that today I'm going to have virtual employees doing things that I used to do when it still was like, you can use your phone or the internet, but not both.
Yeah, and at the time, having a second line was so expensive, so you had to put up with that.
Yeah.
So can you please share some of the best advice you've received in life to help you get where you are today?
I think someone gave me advice of trying to do two things at once, which are sometimes hard. One thing is being humble and listening, but not actually like listening as the easiest way of, like, you said the words X, Y, and Z, but actually listening to problems that people have, understanding where are they standing and how they see the world, like actually being in their foot and not observing from your side of people. At the same time, being humble and listening, understand how you can and what you want to innovate in the world. And doing both things together is sometimes hard, but I think doing those together is what brings, like, the best impact.
And do you have any final words for ITWire's viewers, listeners, and readers?
I'm super excited to be here in the summit and in Australia in general. I think the atmosphere is amazing, and I met amazing people, amazing customers, and I think the industry here is super energetic, very innovative, and I think it's just an exciting time to be here.
Well, Ariel Kadyshevitch, Senior Director of Engineering at Okta, thank you so much for taking the time. I enjoyed your presentation this morning, and I do look forward to speaking with you again in the future.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.